He stares at the empty home around him. The isolation. He was used to the isolation. Long stretches of road, hours a day, for days at a time. Living out of the cabin of a semi. That was the life that he'd once had a long time ago, or so it seemed. So the isolation, the lack of people, well, the alive ones anyway, that isn't why Liam Dawson decided it was time to move on. It was his dwindling food, the supplies running out, the lack of resources to sustain him, and of course his sister, his dear sister Maria. He had no idea if she was still alive at all. He knew that if she were alive, she probably would have evacuated to the safe zone in Louisville. And well, here he was all the way in West Point. But it would be some time before he could look for her. Right now, Liam needed to do what he did best. He needed to pack up, and he needed to hit that road. And of course, survive. Welcome to Project Zomboid, everyone. And not only that, welcome to the very first video on this roleplay channel. So how this is going to work is we are playing one character through his entire story, whatever that story may be. Now, I do have some ideas on where I'd like to take it. Some things, call it a to-do list of events that Liam would like to do. But who knows if we'll get to those. Maybe his journey gets cut short, or maybe what happens in the game changes where he wants to go. But either way, we're going to be along for the ride, and we're going to get to see what happens to Liam Dawson here. Does he ever find a sister? Does he even survive a day? Well, we're going to find out. So let's stand up, and as we stand up, of course, Liam takes a look around him, and he knows he needs to take an assessment of what he has in the house. He can hear the groans of the zombies outside, and he knows they're close. Do they know he's in the house? Do they sense his living, breathing body next to this couch right now? He does not know, but he knows that he has to survive. He needs to know what happened to his sister. He needs to get to Louisville, but that's a long ways off. So Project Zomboid is probably one of the more complex games that you can find out there. In fact, I would argue it's probably the survival sim of survival sims. There's so much complexity. There's so many things to consider. You can't really play this game at a fast pace. It's not Ark. It's not Conan Exiles. It's not any survival game you've played before. It's a fantastic game, but it's one that will humble you. You could be super good at the game. Well, excuse me, let me backtrack. You could be super good at games in general, and this game can throw you for a loop and destroy you. So the first thing we need to do is take inventory. What do we have? So Liam goes and looks around. Of course, he forgot that he didn't have anything in this closet. He just kept it around for storage. And then he sees a zombie pounding at the window, and he immediately starts to look for some kind of weapon, something, anything. But he can't find any weapon at all. And he sees two zombies. So already he's in a precarious situation. And he hears them break in. So he's going to go ahead and move away. So we're going to crouch and we're going to sneak. We're going to sneak away because we don't want no part of that. We'll just go into the next house over and hope. Alright, so it looks like the next house will be free. So Liam, hoping the zombies didn't hear him, he creeps over to the next house. And he's playing it safe. He knows that there's zombies all over the place. It hasn't been that long, but it's been long enough. He tries the door and it's locked. He sighs, irritated, but he knows he must persevere. He didn't want to leave empty-handed, but he did leave just in time, and that window won't open. He's a little bit thirsty. Of course, who wouldn't be after nearly being eaten by two zombies that just busted through his window unknowingly. The back door is locked too. Cursing, he goes around to the side, trying desperately to find a way into this house. to hopefully pick some kind of supplies. Any supplies. But the windows just won't open. He doesn't want to make too much noise. He knows if he breaks the window, that's it. So instead, he's going to go through the woods here. He knows there's some businesses on this street. And looking around, there's just zombies everywhere. He wasn't ready for this. But he's going to keep his cool. He knows that he can, by and large, outpace them just by walking. But he needs to get out of the situation he's in. So he's going to hurry and try to lose line of sight in the trees over here. And of course, there's the music in the background. Alright, I hate to do it. I hate to break the immersion, but there is definitely... Let me see. I don't know why I'm getting such terrible frames. Let me see. Dynamic skybox. Lighting. Oh, here we go. 15. Let's do 10. Lighting quality. There we go. That might be part of it. Alright. And then audio. Let's turn down the music just a little bit. Oops. Oh, I guess that's all we can do. Okay. Well, we'll apply. Wait a minute. Okay. Push no good. I was going to say... I hope they can't hear based on microphone. I actually don't know. Alright. So, taking a look around, he notices there may be some room for him to go up. He's still without a weapon, so he doesn't really want to take on any zombies. But he's thinking maybe he can get the drop on this one before it notices him. If he can just get the drop on it. If he can push it over. And he strikes! He does manage to push it over. And he does manage to kill it. He checks the body for loot. He feels the crunch of the soft decaying skull under his feet. And he shudders. He's never killed somebody before. He's probably had to kill a couple zombies here and there, but it's still nothing he's used to. And he hopes he never has to get used to it. But in his heart, he knows that things just cannot return to the way they were before. So he hops the fence. He knows he needs supplies, so he's going to try to get into these windows again. But he's just not having luck. Poor Liam cannot catch a break here. And he sees around the corner there's another zombie. So very smartly he's gonna creep away. Creep towards the other direction. And he finally gets in a window and hops in. Looking around, he starts rifling through the cabinets, and he does find a pan. So he takes the pan. He's going to use it as a weapon. It's not the best weapon in the world, but beggars can't be choosers, as they say. And he knows it's really all he has to work with. He knows there's food here, and he'll come back for that. But he wants to make sure he's safe. So he pulls out his pan and begins clearing the house. And hoping that there's nothing to answer his search. Alright, so we have to be careful here. We know, and so does Liam at this point. He's been around a little bit. It's probably been about a week since shit hit the fan. So he knows he has to be careful. And so do we, as players. We know we have to be careful too. Okay, that either came from down there or there's... Yeah, okay. I think they're down there. Hopefully, they don't try to come in yet. Sweater vest. Let's grab that and wear it. It'll give us some defense. So Liam grabs this vest. It's a sweater. It's definitely not the most inconspicuous thing in the world, but at least it provides minor protection. He knows it's better than nothing. Better than the thin cloth of the tank top he's wearing now, at any rate. But he's not found any kind of bag yet. He knows that in order to take supplies with him, he's going to need to get some kind of backpack or something to carry them in. But he can't leave these bandages behind. As he rifles through the medicine cabinets and looking under the sinks, he does come across some bandages, which, if he gets injured, he knows those are definitely going to come in handy. So he's going to grab those and leave the books for now. He doesn't have time to read. He's always been a bit of a slower reader anyway. And we'll talk about that shortly once we get in a less precarious situation, if you will. But we have some negative traits. And one of those negative traits is being a slow reader. Okay, so we really don't have much here. He's going to take a look in the fridge and he sees an avocado. He is feeling a little hungry, so he's going to eat the avocado. He's just going to take it and just glomp it down. He just grabs the whole avocado and starts eating it, knowing that some caloric intake in a survival situation is better than nothing. He also grabs some drink. But without any real place to go, he knows. Oh, shit. He just ran into a bunch of zombies. He does not want to be in that situation. He doesn't want to engage here. So he's going to try to get away. He's going to try to lose them through these bushes here. And these trees. There's a house across the way with what looks to be a pretty good condition car. Now that car has Lucas's eyes. He's a driver, mind you. He used to drive trucks in the past, as we alluded to. So if he could get a hold of this vehicle, it looks to be in good condition. And the door's not locked this time. So maybe his luck is turning, he's thinking to himself. There's a guitar case, but there's just no bags. There's no kind of book bags, no backpacks. He's just not having a good time with that. There's an apple and an orange. He'll grab both of those for later. Quick snack on the go, and a can opener. Can openers are really good. There's some canned corned beef he can grab. He knows having some food, even this paltry amount, is better than where he was just 10 minutes ago. But that's the thing with this game, is you have to take this game slow. You can't expect to just come out with everything from the get-go. So because he can't find a bag right away, he's going to check these garbage cans and see, and lo and behold, they do have empty garbage bags. So he's going to grab one of those, and he's going to start putting loot, putting food and essentials in this bag. It's not the best situation. It's not ideal. But it's better than nothing. And here he finds something interesting. So going over this utility shelf, he finds a hammer, which he knows will make a much better weapon than the pan that he currently has. So he's going to grab that. He grabs this hammer, but he's not going to use it yet. He's going to keep it for emergencies as he continues to grab food and put it in his bag. So if we go over his skills, let's see, it doesn't give us his... here we go. So his positive trait, well, all of his traits. He's got a weak stomach. So, Lucas here, he can get sick easier. He's more prone to foodborne illness. He's also a slow reader, but due to his many years of driving, he has better vision at night. His night vision is really good. He is a little bit out of shape, but he's a driver, so that's, that would be why. He spent most of his time in the seat of a vehicle, not running all over the place. So it's understandable he's a little out of shape. Which means he's going to have some negatives to his sprinting. Okay, he really wants the scar, so he's going to engage. We're going to engage the zombie. There's only one. We'll try to push it over. Come on. Get down. Get down, sir. Alright, we got him. Now, taking a cursory look around, he doesn't see anybody. So he's going to pop the hood and see what we have for this vehicle. It's not the best condition, so it looked really good on the outside, but on the inside, the engine's not the best. The battery doesn't seem to be holding the greatest of a charge. Maybe you see some corrosion there. But it is a vehicle, nonetheless. So he gets in, and there is, much to his luck, there is a key in the ignition already. And there's a spare, and a water bottle. Look at that. So Lucas has already improved his situation. Even though this car isn't the best, his situation's much improved at this point. So he's going to take a look at the map. He knows he needs to get out of this town. He needs to get up towards Louisville eventually. But right now, his primary goals are to just get into a more rural area. It is way too crowded. He knows he will not survive if he stays here. So he's going to hit these houses on the way. Turning off the ignition, he kind of crouches down and peeks in. He doesn't see anybody. Of course the door's locked. He always has to try the door. And in we hop. In we go. Alright, let's see. Toilet paper. Oh! 19 rolls of toilet paper. So this is the guy who's been stealing all the toilet paper in the apocalypse. Look at this. 20 rolls of toilet paper. Why am I getting so much screen tearing? 26. Okay. So Lucas, I called him Liam earlier, but his name's Lucas. I don't know why I called him Liam. But Lucas Dodson. It should be Dawson. Maybe I typoed the last name. But Lucas Dawson looks around, and all he sees is toilet paper, and for a moment he's confused, understandably. But really, what did he expect? He'd heard the news. He had heard the news about people taking all the toilet paper. Still not what he was hoping to find. So looking around, there's no... there is one. He sees them through the window. He doesn't want the window to bust. But he can't get it open either. That one... Oh, there's two. Yeah, we're getting out of here. It's too much. It is too risky. Surviving, of course, is all about a risk assessment, right? So looking around, there is another driveway up here. So we'll go in. There's a garage. Now, hypothetically, if we could get a gas can, which, shit, it's locked. We're not getting it. But if we could get a gas can, that would be like icing on the cake right now. right now we need to make sure we can get food, water, and we need weapons. Now, water's still running, but it's not going to be running forever, and Lucas knows this. He knows that the water will eventually run out. The water will stop, so will the power. So he needs to be self-sufficient before that happens. So there is a soda. He's going to grab that soda and pop it in the bag. Nothing in the fridge. Oh, we got more canned food, dog food. But with all this other canned food, there's no reason to get the dog food, right? That would just be... Yeah, let's not eat dog food at this point. We're not that desperate yet. We're not that hard up for food. Alright. But we do want a bag. And we want better clothes. The one thing that Lucas would really like to find right now would be a thick, heavy jacket of some kind. Or something to cover his arms. Or, of course, a bag. He really wants to find a backpack of some kind. Do we find it here? No. No, we do not. So being careful as we go room to room. We're going to shut those curtains, lest one of the undead friends see us, of course. Take the bandage. Get some more water. Painkillers. He's debating, do we need painkillers? So Lucas thinks it would be nice. As Lucas looks on these painkillers, he does feel like it would be nice to have them, but at the same time, he doesn't have a lot that he can carry right now. It's really take what you need and leave what you don't need. So he's going to walk away for the moment. Okay, we got another oh! And just as Lucas has given up hope of finding a backpack of some kind right in front of him is a school bag. So he celebrates, he grabs it, throws it on his back. We're also going to grab this other hammer as well. And we're going to throw some of this stuff in this backpack now too. Maybe we'll keep our food in the plastic bag, and we'll start putting everything else in the school bag. Oops. Alright. So a very good find early on. Very good find. Let's go back and eat some food real quick. There is some cereal. We'll just grab one. We'll eat a whole box of dry cereal. He knows it's not the healthiest thing out there. But screw it, who's gonna complain in the apocalypse that he's eating unhealthy? Alright, cautiously he's looking around. The sound of wolves howling in the distance. It definitely makes him nervous. But he doesn't see anyone around. He would really like to get in that garage. He knows that there's probably useful tools, maybe even a gas can in the garage. But he can't really afford to make noise trying to break the door down. Ooh. He sees another zombie with another bag and thinks to himself he can go after it. Having two bags would be better than just one. He tries to push it over, almost flubs it. And one swift stomp with his foot finishes the zombie. But another one comes. He decides to drop the hand for now. Pull out the hammer, which has more punch. There's just not enough weight behind these attacks. Probably because he's slightly out of shape still. He hasn't had a lot of time to get back into shape, and even more zombies. He looks around, there's only one, so he's willing to stand and face off. But he knows he has to be very cautious here, very careful. He tries pushing her down, and a stomp to the head, a crush of the skull, and once again, the zombie goes quiet. Alright, so we're gonna grab the... We're gonna go ahead and drop. We're gonna put this in the trunk. There we go. And we're gonna grab this other bag. So now we don't just have one bag, we've got two. We've got two, so we're in a really good spot now. I don't know how we're being so lucky here on this run, but we'll take it. So Lucas didn't expect this. He walks over to the trunk, opens it up. He didn't even expect the trunk to open, but then inside the trunk there's a first aid kit and a gas can, far more than he could have hoped. And he begins to wonder, maybe, even though this car looks more beat up, maybe it's in better condition than the one he has. So looking around, there's no other zombies that we see, so he's gonna pop the trunk and take a look inside, or the hood, and take a look inside, and look at that. Yeah, the tires aren't in as good condition, but the engine, the battery, overall much better condition. Is there a key? No key. Rifling through the glove box, nothing. Nothing in the seats. So he's going to try to hotwire the engine. Remember, he used to drive vehicles. He knows cars in and out. He knows vehicles like the back of his hand. So Lucas attempts to hotwire the engine. And he is able to. And quarter tank of gas. Alright. So it's time to toss our school bag into the trunk. We'll keep wearing the one. But grab our gear. He knows it would be foolish to leave this bag of food behind. Oh. And he realizes he almost just forgot to put the gas can in there. That was totally Lucas that almost forgot to do that, and not me. What else? Screwdriver. We probably should pick up that screwdriver, actually. And he is about to take off, and then he realizes there's an empty gas can in the back. But it's, like we just said, empty. Why not take advantage? So he goes over and decides to siphon the last of the gas from this Mustang. And just like that, he now has about a half a gas can. And fortune is now very much with Lucas at this point. So we're doing really good on the loot. We've managed to find quite a bit of tools and equipment. We got a vehicle. So now it's time to go. He doesn't know exactly where. When we zoom out, that gets really laggy. He doesn't know exactly where he wants to go, but he does know that he needs to get out of here. But that leads us to a dead end. So let's look at our map real quick, And where are we at? Oh yeah, we need to go back, and then we'll just keep going straight. Our goal is to find a place that we can call, if not a safe house, at least some sort of respite, where we can get some rest, because we will get tired. The drowsiness will come. Oof. The drowsiness will come. And with that, we will get weaker and weaker. And Lucas knows it. He knows what the effects of staying up for days on end without proper rest can do, because he used to have to do it as a truck driver. So he knows well the consequences of that sort of lifestyle, the mistakes you can make when you're really tired and at the wheel. Looking at his map again, he's going to keep driving down this road, looking for the break that leads away. We needed to keep going straight, I think. He doesn't want to damage the car. One thing he always laughed at before society fell, at least here in Kentucky, is that all the zombie movies, all of those post-apocalyptic movies, would show people just willy-nilly running them over with cars, and there would be no consequences. But he knows better. He knows the damage that can do to a vehicle, so he wants to avoid that at all costs. He needs to keep this vehicle running. It's his lifeline right now. It's his only hope of getting out of here. And right there we see a flipped vehicle, probably somebody swerving, trying to avoid hitting one of these zombies. And yeah, this is not great. Oh. There we go. For some reason, it was driving us backwards. We'll just ignore that. We'll ignore the fact that the vehicle was momentarily driving itself. It was carry or something. I don't know why I'm lagging so hard. I've never had a problem with this game before. I might have to check some settings in our streaming program for the next video. Oh, do we have a gas station? We do. No, it's just a store. A store that's probably already been looted, and if not, there's going to be a lot of unfriendlies in that area, and he doesn't really want to risk that. Up here, again, there's just too much. It's too big of a risk. Except guns and ammo. And what is this? A military vehicle. He's going to keep the vehicle running, but he wants to check this out. Popping the hood of the Humvee. It's not the worst condition, but it also would use a lot more gas, and he knows how valuable gas is. There's no other way in this gun store. Maybe he can get in through these other doors. It's getting dark. There's no other doors or windows. And he's getting tired. He doesn't want to have to spend a night in the car. Jump in just in time. And right there, just like that, that could end a run. That right there in Zomboid, that was dangerous. All it takes in Project Zomboid is one bite to kill you. Because the bite itself may not kill you, but the disease that follows will. And that's something that Lucas would be very, very well aware of. Even just a scratch can be enough. Even just a scratch can be enough to put somebody down. For recording, I may have to just kind of gut these graphics a little bit. I'll see if there's any mods that can help with that. I am running a few mods as it is. Okay, we're getting past... There we go. So Lucas finds himself on the highway finally, and much to his happiness, he wants to find a place to stay for the night, but... Oof. Tired as he is, he needs to get himself some rest. He just ran into a zombie because his reaction speed is down due to how tired he is. He's starting to make mistakes, and he can't afford that at this stage. Not after he's fought so hard to get out of West Point. And so we travel on. We travel along the lonely roads just like he was used to doing before the zombie threat, before life was turned upside down, and he loved these open roads. But now these open roads, they're not filled with other vehicles and other commuters, they're filled with the dead. Oh, did not see that. Luckily, the vehicle is still running. But Lucas knows this. He can't keep having that happen. He can't keep having these little fender benders, because if he gets stuck out here with no vehicle, well, that could very well kill him. He's thinking he may have to spend the night in his vehicle if he can't find an old country home to lay up in. He would rather not. It's dangerous to sleep out here on the roads with the dead out here like this. It could very well end up waking up to a mob of undead surrounding the car, and then what would he do? Everything he's collected he'd have to leave behind, and that's if he was able to even get out. It's not worth the risk. He's got to find some place he can lay down and get some rest. It's been a long day. These buildings would be too populated, but perhaps he's getting closer to a place he could sleep. He takes note of this to come back later and investigate, but for now, he'll keep driving on. He knows he has gas. He has a spare gas can that's half full. It should be enough to get him where he needs to go. And look at this. Look at the mess on the highway. He shudders to think what happened here. Apparently he wasn't the only one to have the idea of getting out of town, and it didn't work out so well for them. But he manages to navigate his way through, luckily. So we have this area down here that's leading maybe off to a building. There's a market and a couple of houses. There's a lot of zombies. He's gonna cut the lights. There's a few zombies here for... This is definitely a dangerous game, but he thinks he should be alright. He gets out. He's gonna crouch and go to this other place across the way in case they heard the car come this way. If not for his night vision, that might have been it. But he heard and turned around and saw the silhouette of the zombie sneaking up on him through the night. He starts casing the area out very carefully. Another vehicle he sees. 2 more zombies. He's tired, but he believes he can take them one at a time at least. As long as that other one doesn't join the fray. He's noticing his hits aren't strong. He's getting exhausted. But he did manage to take her down, and there's just one left. If he can get the drop, if he can push her down. No. He pushes her away, swings with the hammer, swings again, and manages to finish her off in one fell swoop. And he's hoping he can get into the building now, into this trailer. The doors... Oh, shit! That is bad. So much for a night of respite. That trailer had an alarm. He's running to his vehicle, hoping he can get in and start it up in time. And he did manage, but he has to go. He knows he has to go right now. That's going to draw every walker in the area. Every single zombie in the area is going to be heading right for that house. Cursing himself, cursing his luck. His rotten luck when he finally finds a place he might find some sleep, some peace. And instead, he has to say goodbye and drive away from a perfectly good area where he might have been able to hole up for a little bit. Never again has he been so... Never before has he been so sad to see the open road ahead of him when all he wanted was a moment's sleep. And another traffic jam, another area where it seemed everybody was trying to get out, much like him. He would love that hiking bag, but he knows he can't take on another fight. Not in his condition, not as tired as he is. And look here, he's gonna try to eke his way through. Can he get in? He's trying to. He manages to punch it through. Being the expert driver he is, he does manage to get through. But he's marveling at just how many vehicles ended up in that pile-up. It's no wonder there's so many zombies in the area. Many of them died trying to get out of this place in the first place. Probably during the evacuation, he thinks, to Louisville. But we do need to find a place. Either A, we find a place to sleep, or B, we spend the night in the car. Not something we really want to do, given how many zombies are around. Heading the lights on as we drive down this dirt road. Well, not dirt road, but this narrow road anyway. Might as well be a dirt road. That doesn't look like much. We're hoping to find some kind of building, just any place we can rest our weary head. If you see the noodles on the right, that's what those are. Very tired, peckish, so a little bit hungry, and a little bit thirsty, but the biggest thing is that sleep. He's so tired. He's not going to be able to hit as hard, to run as fast. But he may end up having to spend the night. Yeah, he comes out into an empty lot. There's nothing here, but he cuts off the engine, cuts off the lights, and this is where Lucas Dodson is going to spend the weary night. And this, my friends, is where we end the video. So we will pick back up with Lucas's adventure when we come back. I don't have a stream. I don't have a schedule yet for uploading. I'm not sure how long it's going to take to edit videos and whatnot. So I'm hoping in the days I don't stream, I stream 3 days a week on Twitch. I'm really hoping that in the in-between I can at least get a couple videos out a week. But we'll see. We'll see. In the meantime, I really hope you enjoyed our first foray into role-playing Project Zomboid. I hope you're enjoying our time we're spending with Lucas Dodson. And if you like the video, help a new YouTuber out, please give me a like, maybe subscribe if you like this kind of content, if you like this this sort of roleplay format. Leave a comment, tell me what you think, what you'd like to see in the future for Lucas. Where would you like to see him go? Is there any goals that you would like to see him do? So with that being said, let's have some fun next time when we come back. In the meantime, have a great night, everybody, and I'll see you later. This is Star White signing off. Peace.